It's 2 in the morning. You're sound asleep, and then it hits you. That sudden, gripping pain shooting through your calf, twisting the muscle so tight it feels like it's trying to tear itself apart. You sit up, you grab your leg, you try to stretch it out, maybe even hop around the room a little, gasping until it finally lets go. If that sounds familiar, you already know there's nothing quite like it. It's not just uncomfortable, it's frightening. And once it happens, you lie back down wondering, is it going to happen again? Will I even get back to sleep tonight? Maybe someone already told you the answer. Eat a banana. Take a potassium pill. Drink some pickled juice before bed. You've probably tried it, and maybe it helped a little. Or maybe it didn't help at all. Here's something most people never hear from their doctor, and it might surprise you. For a huge number of people, potassium was never really the problem to begin with. So, if you've been chasing the wrong fix for months, or even years, you're not alone, and you're about to find out why. Because tonight we're going to walk through 4 simple, easy-to-do things that actually get to the real root of those nighttime leg cramps. Nothing extreme, nothing expensive. Just small shifts most people overlook completely. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why your legs have been cramping up in the middle of the night, and more importantly, what you can start doing about it, possibly as soon as tonight. Let's get into it. Let's start with what's actually happening in your body when a leg cramp hits. That muscle in your calf, or sometimes your foot, or the back of your thigh, is suddenly contracting on its own, without you telling it to. It locks up hard, and it won't let go. Doctors call this a nocturnal leg cramp, and it's incredibly common, especially once you pass 50. Research suggests a large share of adults over 60 deal with this regularly, with some studies putting the number as high as 1 in 3 or more the older you get. So, if this is happening to you, please hear this. You are far from alone, and there is nothing wrong with you as a person. Something is simply out of balance, and it can be brought back into balance. Now, here's where a lot of people get stuck. For decades, potassium has gotten almost all the credit or the blame when it comes to leg cramps. And it's not that potassium doesn't matter. It does. But think about this for a moment. If potassium were really the main issue, wouldn't eating a banana every single day just fix it for good? For most people, it doesn't. And that's usually the first clue that something else is going on. So, what else could it be? For many people, especially those in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, the real culprits are things that rarely get talked about. Things like how your body is sitting or standing for hours during the day. Things like certain medications you might already be taking for blood pressure or cholesterol. Things like how well blood is actually circulating down into your legs and feet by the time you lay down at night. Picture this. You spend your day running errands, maybe standing in line at the pharmacy, sitting for a while at the kitchen table, doing some gardening in the afternoon. By evening, your legs feel a little tired, maybe a little heavy. You don't think much of it. You settle into your recliner to watch the evening news, then head to bed. And that's exactly when it happens, hours later, deep in sleep, when your body is finally still. Here's the part that surprises a lot of people. Nighttime is actually when cramping is most likely, precisely because your muscles have been still for so long and circulation slows down even further during rest. It's not random. It's not bad luck. There's a reason your body chooses that moment, and once you understand it, the whole picture starts to make a lot more sense. And once you see the real reason behind it, the fixes start to feel a lot less like guesswork and a lot more like common sense. Now, let's clear up a few things because there are some myths floating around about leg cramps that keep people stuck for years without realizing it. Myth number 1. It's always dehydration. Yes, not drinking enough water can absolutely make cramping worse. But plenty of people who drink plenty of water all day long still wake up with their calf locked in a knot. So water alone isn't the full answer. Myth number 2. It's always about minerals like potassium, calcium, or magnesium. Again, these do play a role. But here's something a lot of people don't realize. Simply taking a supplement doesn't guarantee your body is actually using it the way it should. If there's an underlying issue with circulation or with how your nerves are signaling your muscles, extra minerals can sit there without ever solving the real problem. And myth number 3. This one catches people off guard the most. Cramps only happen to people who are out of shape or inactive. Actually, it's often the opposite. Many active, healthy older adults get hit with cramps simply because of how they're sitting, how they're sleeping, or a medication they've been taking for years without a second thought. Let me tell you about someone many of you might recognize a little of yourself in. Let's call her Linda. Linda's 71, walks every morning with her neighbor, eats well, and takes her blood pressure medication faithfully. And yet, 2 or 3 nights a week, she wakes up in pain, holding her calf, waiting for it to pass. She tried bananas. She tried more water. Nothing really stuck. What she didn't realize is that one of her blood pressure medications was quietly affecting her muscles, and the way she'd been sitting with her legs crossed most of the evening was slowing circulation right when her body needed it most. That's often the real story. It's rarely just one single thing. It's usually a combination of small, everyday habits stacking up quietly, night after night, until your body finally says enough, and it says it in the middle of the night, in the most uncomfortable way possible. So, here's the encouraging part. Because this isn't about one missing pill or one magic food, it also means you're not stuck waiting for a prescription to fix it. Once you understand what's really driving those cramps, there are gentle, everyday adjustments that can make a real difference, often faster than people expect. Here's what we're going to walk through next. For simple things you can start doing, some of them tonight, that go straight to the source instead of just masking the symptom. The first one is about your evening stretching, but not the way most people do it. Most people stretch after the cramp already hits, when the muscle is locked up and painful. Instead, try gently stretching your calves before bed as part of your nightly routine. Stand facing a wall. Place your hands on it. Step 1 foot back with your heel flat on the floor and lean forward slightly. Hold that for about 20 to 30 seconds on each side. It's a small, simple habit, but done every night before you fall asleep, many people notice a real difference within a week or 2, and it costs nothing but a couple of minutes. The second thing has to do with how you're positioned while you sleep. This one surprises people. If you sleep on your back with your toes pointing down and the blankets tucked in tightly, your calf muscles can end up in a shortened position for hours. That shortened position makes them more prone to suddenly cramping. A simple fix is to loosen the bedding at the foot of the bed, or try sleeping with a small pillow propped under your calves to keep your feet in a more neutral position. It sounds almost too simple, but for a lot of people, this alone cuts down on how often cramps happen. The third thing is about movement during the day, especially if you spend long stretches sitting. If you're someone who sits for an hour or more at a time, whether it's reading, doing puzzles, or watching your afternoon shows, try standing up and walking around for just a minute or 2 every 30 to 60 minutes. This keeps blood moving through your legs instead of pooling and slowing down, which is one of the quiet contributors to those nighttime cramps. Even something as small as flexing your feet up and down a few times while seated can help. And the fourth thing, this is the one people overlook the most. Take a look at your medications with your doctor or pharmacist, especially if you're on something for blood pressure, cholesterol, or fluid retention. Some of these medications can affect your muscles or your mineral balance in ways that aren't obvious at first. This doesn't mean stopping anything on your own. That's never the right move. It simply means asking a simple, direct question at your next appointment or pharmacy visit. Could any of my medications be contributing to muscle cramps? You might be surprised at the answer, and it could open the door to a small adjustment that makes a big difference. Here's the thing about these 4 steps. None of them ask you to overhaul your life. No special diets, no expensive supplements, no complicated routines. Just small, intentional shifts to things you're already doing every single day: stretching, sleeping, sitting, and reviewing your medications. Before we wrap up, one important note. Most nighttime leg cramps are harmless, just uncomfortable. But if a cramp comes with real swelling, redness, warmth, or pain that doesn't ease up after it should have passed, please don't wait it out. Get that checked by a doctor promptly. It's rare, but it's the one thing worth being cautious about. So, let's bring this all together. For years, potassium got most of the attention when it comes to leg cramps. And while it's not completely irrelevant, you now understand it was never really the whole story. The real story is about circulation, muscle positioning, daily movement, and sometimes medications working quietly in the background. The good news in all of this is simple. You have far more control over this than you may have realized. A gentle stretch before bed. A small adjustment to how your feet are positioned while you sleep. Standing up and moving a little more through your day. And one honest conversation with your doctor or pharmacist about your medications. None of these require you to change who you are or turn your life upside down. They simply ask you to bring a little more awareness to habits you're already living out every day. If you've been waking up in pain night after night, wondering what's wrong with you, please hear this clearly. Nothing is wrong with you. Your body has just been asking for a few small changes, and now you know exactly what those changes are. Start with just one of these 4 tonight. Maybe it's that simple calf stretch before you turn off the light. See how your body responds over the next week or 2. Small, consistent steps like these are often what finally break a cycle that's been going on for months, sometimes even years. You deserve peaceful, uninterrupted sleep. And now you have real, practical tools to help make that happen. If this video helped bring some clarity to what you've been dealing with, take a moment to like it and share it with someone you know who tosses and turns some nights, holding their leg, wondering why. They may be searching for exactly this answer. Thank you for spending this time with me tonight. Sleep well.